Alright, it is FrOzenSwipe here, and I got a game of Domination on Kowloon, and I'm going to be using the Enfield. This is, of course, another gun breakdown, and there are not a lot more guns to go through now at this stage. Well, at least ones that I can easily get a gameplay with. And this isn't a half bad gun. It's probably one of the more underrated guns in this game, but seeing as this is a very long gameplay, it's like 11 minutes, and you'll see why it's so long at the end of this game. It's quite an unusual result, and it's something I haven't seen in a while, so I don't know, maybe you guys have as well. But I've more than surpassed the 30 kill kind of target I set for myself in this series. With this gun, it's not a bad gun whatsoever, and you know, the fact that I got so many kills and doing it with low kill streaks, not to kind of take anything away from, you know, commentators that use high kill streaks. It's just kind of you know, it's kind of disappointing when you see a score. It's like a 50-60 kill game, and then you kind of see that he gets like most of his kills with his kill streaks. It's kind of discouraging, but I generally tend to run spy plane, napalm, and attack helicopter, or some variant of that, and that's usually what I like to run because it allows me to just keep running around. I don't have to like stop and like man an attack helicopter as I do with a chopper gunner. So and it also stops the enemies from bringing in a chopper gunner. I like to think of it as a chopper blocker or a cock block. But anyway, let's try and deter from kill streaks and focus a bit more on what this commentary is going to be about, which is of course the Enfield itself, one of the more underrated weapons in this game. And let's just give you a little bit of a history lesson with the background of this gun. The model that's in Black Ops is the L85A1 Enfield rifle, and it is named after the London borough of Enfield, which is North London, where it was originally manufactured. And this gun is part of the SA-80, or Small Arms for the 1980s family of weapons. And if you remember the L86 LSW from Modern Warfare 2, that's also part of this family. It was first put into service in 1985, which makes this quite historically inaccurate. Even the early prototypes of this gun weren't tested until the 1970s, which is set after the time frame which Black Ops is set. So, you know, but I mean, Treyarch have done that with several other guns like the FAMAS, Galil, the AUG. The list goes on and on. The 8J74U, as I explained earlier. And when the weapon first came out, however, in 1985, there were a lot of faults with it. It was soldiers found it to be very fragile and unreliable. One of the big problems was that it could only be fired right-handed. The ejection port was only on the right. You couldn't switch it to the left side like you can with the AUG or the FAMAS. So if you try to fire this gun left-handed, you get a face full of hot ejected cartridges, and that's never fun. I don't think anyone wants a face full of molten metal. I can't really imagine that being any fun. Another thing was that the magazine release catch could easily be caught in clothing, and this could cause it to accidentally release the mag, and that's probably the last thing you want in the middle of a firefight, to have your mag fall out of your gun when that's probably one of the worst things that could possibly happen. And it also didn't fare well in Arctic or desert conditions, and a lot of the parts in it broke very easily in extreme conditions. As a result of that, a lot of the weapons had to be recalled, and the German arms company Heckler & Koch, you know, those guys that brought you the MP5K, remodeled it, had to remanufacture the L85A1, and this gave way to the L85A2 variant, which is much more reliable and much more robust, and is still used today by British armed forces, and has seen combat in both the Afghanistan and Iraq wars. So that's pretty much all you need to know about the Enfield from a history or a background point of view, and let's get into how the gun plays out in the game. And because this is a fairly underrated weapon in my opinion, and there's no real reason why you shouldn't use this gun. Well, first of all, the Enfield has a maximum damage of 35 and a minimum damage of 25. This means that it'll take 3 bullets to kill up close and 4 bullets to kill at long range, and will fire at 750 RPM. Now, a lot of people kind of write it off purely over these statistics. First of all, the 35 to 25 damage is similar to that of the lower damages of the FAMAS and the AUG. And compared to some of the higher damage assault rifles like the AK and the Galil, which do 40 to 30, it's quite low. However, the FAMAS and the AUG compensate for this with a very fast 937.5 RPM, which kind of compensates for the lower damage. However, the Enfield doesn't have that high rate of fire. It has a slower 750 RPM of the Galil and the AK. For this reason, because it doesn't do as much damage and it fires slower, a lot of people kind of write this gun off. However, this doesn't really make much of a difference. This gun plays out pretty much the same as the Galil or the AK, because it doesn't matter. It'll still only take 3 bullets to kill up close and 4 bullets to kill at long range, so that really doesn't matter. It has an average drop off of 37.5 meters or 12.5 meters if you're using a silencer. However, one thing that is very unique to this gun is that it takes only 0.2 seconds to aim down sight, which is the same as most of the submachine guns. Most of the assault rifles generally tend to take 0.25 seconds to aim down sight. So you can have the aim down sight time of a submachine gun with some of the added benefits of an assault rifle. It takes 2.45 seconds to reload with ammo on the clip, or 3 seconds when completely empty. Now this isn't terribly fast, however it isn't terribly slow for any of the assault rifles. The recoil is bordering on the heavier side of moderate. It generally tends to kick up and to the right, or at least some variant of that. So once you kind of get used to the recoil pattern of this gun, you can eventually learn to compensate for it with burst firing. And once you do, it can be quite accurate. However, the iron sights are quite annoying. They tend to bounce as you fire the gun, which makes it kind of awkward when you're trying to spray. And it's kind of annoying. I'm sorry I'm not using the iron sights to show you, but that's kind of the reason why I put a red dot in the sight. And recommended attached for this gun would definitely be either red dot or reflex sight. However, it's not half bad suppressed or with dual mags or extended mags. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Enfield. It's not a bad gun and is very underrated in my opinion, and I think more people should start using it because there's really nothing wrong with it in my opinion. But that's pretty much all I have to say about the Enfield now. This is, as you can see, we're losing, but it's a very tight game, and it's very tight right up until the end of this. And I had something that I wanted to say. Oh yes, this game, the kill death in this game is not overly impressive. I'm 1 kill short of getting a 3 kill death ratio, but I do get a lot of kills. I get 40 plus kills. I'm not going to give you the exact number, just you know, give you some sort of incentive to watch on until the end. But I mean, I get a kill death spread of, say, well, I'm trying to do the maths in my head. I think it's 29, or yeah, it'd be kill that spread of 29, which is not that bad. I think that's pretty damn good. Like that's a kill that spread of almost 30, and it doesn't matter how many kills or how many deaths you've gotten. If you've got a kill that spread of 30, you know you're doing well. Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, a game where you get a 3 kill death ratio, you know, do you want to see a guy? Like, I mean, kill death ratio isn't everything. I think people need to stop judging gameplays based on kill death ratio. Because, I mean, a guy who goes 9 kills to 3 deaths is not doing as well as someone who goes 45 kills to 15 deaths. It's the same kill death ratio. But let's face it, I would much rather watch a guy go 45 to 15 than 9 and 3. So, I mean, kill death ratio isn't everything. And I think kill death spread says a lot more about the gameplay than kill death ratio does. Because, you know, take a 3 kill death game, I'd rather, because I mean, another example would be I'd rather watch a guy go, like, say, 60, like, I mean, okay, say for example the kill death spread is 20, you know, while that can be 20-0, it can also be 60-40, you know, that's still a decent score, because, I mean, you got 60 kills, and so, I mean, a kill death spread of 20 is good, no matter how many kills or how many deaths you get. Unlike a kill death spread, or unlike kill death ratio, you know, it doesn't quite carry over the same. And I think people need to focus more on kill death spread. And I prefer to. And even though this game wasn't the best kill death ratio in the world, It was a decent kill death spread, and it was entertaining. I had so much fun playing this game, purely because I got so many kills with relatively low streaks, with a gun that nobody can complain about being overpowered. And I just had so much fun playing this game. I was running around, I was jumping off shit, I was turning on kids, and I really wish I did a live commentary for this, because I was just having so much fun playing this game, and it was probably one of the more entertaining games that I've played in Black Ops in a while. But yeah, the gameplay is slowly coming to a close. I think there's only a minute or so left, and yeah, just to reiterate what I said, you know, I think people need to stop obsessing about kill death ratio when it comes to gameplays and focus more on kill death spread. And I just think kill death spread is more accurate representation of how well you're doing as opposed to kill death ratio. You know, because and also I think even if it's not the best score in the world, as long as it's entertaining gameplay, as long as there's always something to happen, if it's action packed, I think it's still a good gameplay. Anyway, the gameplay is now finally actually wrapping up, and I'd just like to take this time to say, you know, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, if you could leave the video a like, come back to my channel, subscribe, it'll really help me out, because I'm really trying to build up my channel at the moment, and you know, if I get enough subscribers, I'll eventually get a PVR, and yeah, we get a draw. Yeah, I know. How many times do you see that? Anyway, this has been FrOzenSwipe, and if you're still watching, thanks for watching.